fall garden prep, cold frames, Hugal culture, raised beds. Riley wanted to come out to the garden. One of our viewers sent him a treat. But while he enjoys that treat, let's go ahead and talk about fall garden prep. It is early fall and things are starting to die back. Our amaranth needs to be harvested, but the rest of our garden is still growing really strong. We're going to be picking beans and okra every day for at least the next 3 weeks. But it's not going to be very long and the garden's going to look like this. But for now, the peanuts are still blooming. It's too early to pull those. And the sweet potatoes, these vines have just exploded. Potatoes are over there somewhere next to the bales. We'll get to those here. Well, it'll be a little while. But in the meantime, preparation will only set you up to be a more successful gardener. So what are we going to look at today? Well, we already laid out where we want to have our cold frames down by our banana. But the banana's still going strong, so we're not setting that up yet. We've had several questions from viewers about Hugal culture. So I think we're going to go ahead and give that a try this year. But to balance that off, we can compare a Hugal culture with a raised bed. Now, I've advocated you build your own raised bed out of whatever you can get your hands on. Some people don't like that. So I thought we'd get a pre-manufactured one and see how that goes together. Just like the cold frame and the Hugal culture mound, I don't have a place to put another raised bed. But being prepared will allow us to set as soon as we get the room. Same thing with gathering your mulch right now. You're going to be raking leaves very soon. Piling it up, getting ready to put it on the garden. That brings us to another thing. How are we going to fill this raised bed? We're going to look at that too. But I thought we ought to take a look at pre-manufactured raised beds, see what they look like. So we just got this delivered, and since I can lift it up, once we put it together, I'll be able to carry it into the garden and put it wherever I want. See, we got our critters checking it out already. There's over 1,000 free episodes on how to grow your own food. Doesn't sell anything. I told you he'd sell out. He's a corporate shill. He never even says his own name. Thought folks might be interested. People ask him what he uses. He's got an Amazon store. His advice still revolves around being frugal in the garden. And since this is light enough, I can lift it now. When we put it together, we'll be able to get it on the garden, no problem. Oh, look at that. We got some corners. We got some hardware. We got some instructions. We got some side panels, looks like. This comes coated with, got some protective plastic on here. See, if you bought your own sheet metal, you would have to paint it, or when you cut it, these edges would be sharp. Looks like they've got the paint that's come across here, and that's kept those edges nice and smooth. Got a little spacer bar. Each side looks like it's going to have 4 panels. And I guess you could put I guess you could choose whichever color you wanted out, whether you wanted it white or if you wanted it. I'm going to leave the plastic coating on. That's my preference. We have 2 of these, which will give us our radius. And I hadn't even opened up the instructions. This is pretty self-explanatory. I don't have to cut, I don't have to bend. Look at that. Those holes line up. Perfect. I'll bet our hardware's in here. And they actually give us a little ribbon to go across the top, but it's not needed. That's a nice benefit. Excellent. And they actually even give you a little tool in here. Now with any of these, I think it's probably going to be best to just hand tighten these and then come back through. And I've got a little ratchet set that I'm going to use and tighten these up real fast. That's all you got to do. You know that raised bed I made out of 2x4s? It took me a lot longer than this. And I had a lot of cutting to do. The regular nuts down in. I like to put a couple in and keep it loose until we get it all put together. That way we're not binding anywhere. Let me get the bolts in around here. We'll flip it over and get the bottom side, and we're gonna be done. Well, now that we got that first done, I'm gonna flip it over and put these last ones in. This is pretty easy to manage. That's just the way I'm doing it. Now the one thing I think everybody has is a decent screwdriver. It makes this a little easier. And their little wrench is great, except I like my little Husky. I'm gonna go ahead and use my handy dandy little Husky socket set. I found this comes in real handy. So once you get this all set, go through, tighten everything up, and you'll be good to go. We got one spacer bar, and I'm going to put it down here on the third one. So keep track of your bolts. You don't want to drop them in the grass. That thread's right on there. Now there's many ways you can make yourself a raised bed. You don't have to go this fancy. And we will go ahead and top it off with this rubber gasket. These edges can be sharp, but I'm not going to do that until after we get some soil in here. But this will be a good comparison with our Hugal culture, because part of our pillars is pile. You either pile that mulch on your garden, or you pile up logs and then the mulch and then the soil. So we're going to compare the raised bed with the Hugal culture. But I'm also going to put a screen down, and I'm going to set this in the soil just a little bit. We've got voles, even though we're discouraging them with the castor oil, we still have voles. You can only deter them so much in a garden this big. And I want to make sure we get sweet potatoes and other root crops. Has anybody ever said you can't have enough beets? And if you have a patio, this kind of setup, you just put a board on the bottom to hold your soil in there, you're going to be set up. So there's all kinds of things you can do with a deal like this. You can put it as a centerpiece to your garden. You don't have to. 2x4 raised bed works really well. But preparing now, we've got it set up. Now I've got to find something to fill it with. Hope you join me for that. And until next time, remember the 4 pillars of the garden: pile, plant, protect, and pick. The hardest work you ever do in a deep mulch garden is harvest. You can do this too. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.